Okay, what I'm going to do is I did not get my class recorded today. And so I'm going to try to go over some of the things that I did do in the class and let us, there won't be any way you can ask questions unless you do see that this is online publicly and you want to join it. But I can hold another hangout this evening if there are those in the online class that would have some questions. But the first thing that I did was we did go up and look into Evernote here. And what I had told you all is that I will have the Chapter 2 quiz, which is just a short little reading quiz, 10-point quiz, that will be available either later this evening or Friday through Tuesday morning. I will make it available actually for the lecture class till Tuesday morning, and then it will be probably Sunday night at midnight on the online session. And then on this, after this, I want you to go ahead and read Chapter 3 and work through the exercises. But on in the Tuesday lecture class, I'm going to give them a couple of assignments that they're going to work together on, and then when I come back on Thursday, I'll go over those. And I will record that section. I'll try to not happen again. But then for the online session, what you'll be doing is I'm going to post those two assignments out here, and they will be problems that you do not have to do flowchart and pseudocode. You can do either or, whichever you prefer. And these are ones that you can work with your team members on. If you want to work by yourself, that's fine. But I think it's really beneficial, those that are working together in a team. And I also think Cody Willman offered his help to anybody that's having a struggle with Python. But hopefully after today, when I go over these, this video, the two projects that two students turned in, what I want you to do, if you have not uploaded your project, and after we go through these, if it corrected something or changed something, that's fine. Go ahead and make changes to your projects and put them up again. This is a learning experience. I want you to come out of here understanding programming logic and having a pretty good handle on Python. So I'm going to go ahead and open up. Shelby in our lecture class gave us his project in Hunter to look at. And so these are just a couple of examples that we went over in class of different ways that students did the project. So I'm going to look here at Shelby's has a little more comments and all in it. And Shelby, what I want you to understand is he's actually done a lot of programming, or he did Java programming. And I know there's some in my online class that are that way too. So those of you that have never done any programming, that's fine. That's what this class is. Does not require any prerequisites. So just be sure that you can follow along with what I'm doing, or if you need to ask questions, go ahead and ask me to start a hangout, and I can visit with you on any questions you have. I'll try to go through what we went through in class, but without students asking questions, I may miss something. So be sure and let me know if you do need help on some of this. Okay, let me get idle open, although I may not have even installed it on here. I forgot about that. Let me see if I have. Okay, where's the students? And here's his. Well, we'll look at his pseudocode too. Oh, I guess I did, because there it is. Yeah, I did. Okay, so first of all, we're going to look at a couple of different pseudocode. The pseudocode, the way Shelby did it, and then we're going to look at Hunter's pseudocode before we actually go into the Python. But in Shelby's pseudocode, what he did, and let me make it a little bit larger here so you can, oops, that didn't help. Let me go back down. Goodness, having trouble here. Okay, I'm going to shrink this a little bit because that didn't really do what I wanted it to. Let me change the view. If I can zoom in. Okay, so here all he did was actually use logic where it's not dependent or using any type of keywords or anything from any particular language. So you could actually take this logic and program in C++, C#, Java, JavaScript, or Python, any language, because this is not syntax dependent. So the way he did his is he just told you exactly what you would do to solve the problem. Yeah, it isn't allowing me to type it. It says it's connected, then it's not. Who's this? Oh, okay, some people are having trouble with Codecademy. I'll go into that here in just a minute and see if I can help out on that. But here's what we did. We did display price of lamps and tables. Then he wants to ask the user how many lamps they wish to buy, save the number that they want to buy to memory, ask the user how many coffee tables they wish to buy, save the number to memory, and then multiply lamp amount by 65 to get the lamp cost, and multiply coffee table amount to get table cost, and then add the two together to get the total cost, and then print the total cost. Now, that's a very general way of solving it. So I want to also look at hunters, which may match more what more of you have done. Let's see if I can get this here. Okay, so on hunters, maybe we can see this here. He simply said start, get num1, get num2, sum equals num1 times 65 plus num2 times 155, and then print the sum. And a lot of times what students will do is in Python, instead of get, we have to use input. So they'll make their pseudocode look more like whatever language that they're coding in. And either way will be correct for me. Pseudocode is for you as the programmer to help you out. So that whichever type, if it's the way Shelby does it, if it's the way Hunter and Dalton did it, that's okay. Whatever helps you best to code your program then into Python. So now we're going to look at the actual code in idle that Shelby did. Well, actually, I'm going to go into hunters first because I want you to see how it matches his pseudocode exactly. So if we go here, open with idle. Ooh, that's really small. Let's see here. Let me go, let's see if it will do my command plus. Okay, preferences. I think I make the text a lot larger here. We go down to Verdana. Usually shows up best if they have it. Here. Guess they don't have Verdana on here, so we'll stick with maybe Arial. Maybe they have Arial. Yeah, they have Arial. Let's do Arial. Okay, apply. That didn't help. Python standard course. Oh, that was what that was. Wait, let me go back here on that. It's like 4. Font base. Here's the size down to like 18. Maybe that'll help us. There we go. All right. So here's what Hunter did it matches pretty close, except he has his print at the top, say, welcome to the furniture dealers. Each desk lamp we sell is $65 per unit. Each coffee table is $155 per unit. So he uses a variable called N1 to take in what the user types in. So you ask the user, it should come up when we run this program. It should come up to the screen, welcome to the furniture dealers. It should tell you this, and that should ask you and stop there. And so when the user inputs a value, it's going to go into this variable N1. But then he has to convert it to integer. And remember, there are different data types. When the user enters the variable in, it actually is going to come in as a string. And you remember we talked in one of my videos about the fact that you cannot do calculations on a string. And that's the purpose of converting this N1 into the variable num1 as an integer. Then he asks for the number of coffee tables, does the same thing, converts it. And then your sum is num1 times 65 plus num2 times 155. And then this is output that he learned to do in Code Academy. If you do the tip calculator, and I'll go into that a minute to show you, but this is how he learned to put $, and if you put percent and a placeholder, this is a placeholder, and so after that it looks for a matching percent sign outside of the quotes, and whatever's right after it, it puts that value there. So then print, thank you for your business. So if we run this, there it is. It says, welcome to the furniture dealer. Each desk lamp will sell is $65 per unit, tables $155. We're going to put 2 in, so for each, so our total should come up to $440. So there's 2, 2, and there it is. And it shows the $, and then whatever the sum was, which was $440. Thank you for your business. So it satisfies what I ask you to do. Good job on it, Hunter and Dalton. So now what I want to do is go over and take a look at another example. And this zip file is in Evernote for you. I showed you that at the down at the bottom of Evernote, where you can look at it, and if it helps you to understand better. Okay, so then with Shelby's, if you remember in Code Academy, we learned that the pound sign causes this to be a comment. Oh, wait a minute. This is the wrong one. I must have saved. Okay, let me do this again. I'm going to have to, I used his and saved it there, I guess. All right, let me unzip it. Now this one should be right. Okay, so what Shelby did, a couple of things that because of his programming background he knew about. And one of them is that he heavily commented. He commented every line of code in Python so that if somebody comes in and needs to modify it, they can see exactly what he intended to do with that line of code. So he did a pound and comment right there after every line. Here, all 4 of these, he said this is what converts price variables and user inputs into float variables. And you'll notice instead of int, like Hunter and Dalton did, he did a float. The reason being, he wanted to print a decimal point out. Because if you remember, float numbers have decimal points, whereas integers are the whole numbers. So here is the floated values. So the way he did it also is at the top, because in other languages we do this, he used what's called a constant variable. This is called a constant because he sets it to a value. And so when he wants to use that $65, he just has to use this variable. And in class, I was asking the students, so what's the purpose of that? Why would you want to do that instead of just like right here saying $65 like Hunter did in his. Well, the reason to do that is that if you have a program that's going to use this value numerous times throughout the program, and say the furniture store decided, hey, I'm going to increase the price to lamps to 75, you'd have to go everywhere through your program that you used it and change it. But if you use a variable, a constant variable at the top like that, then you only have to change it in that one place in your program. So that's really good programming practice. That has nothing to do with logic. It's just, that's good programming practice. Then here he printed out, welcome to our website. And you may see a little /T there. And Shelby, because of him knowing Python, he knew that would cause that welcome to tab over a little bit where it prints more in the middle of the screen. And then he used the constants in here, and a string with a plus in the middle will concatenate that, and that's what it's called when you want to add something to your string variable. The desk lamps cost $ plus lamp price, so when it prints, it should say $65.00. Then he has done his input, ask user how many lamps they wish to buy, and he's done his input there, and whatever the user enters is going to go into lamp amount. And so he asks for those and then converts each one of those variables, because he has to also convert these from a string to a float, or it will not use them in the calculation. Okay, so he needed them in a string to be able to print them in this, but then he needs to do them in a float here. Okay, so he adds up the total cost based on user input and price of merchandise per unit. So there's where he does his calculations, and then to print out, he prints out string total, print the cost of the merchandise you bought is $, and then whatever that variable is, and then a backwards or a /n is going to take it to a new line. Okay, so let me show you how this runs, and you'll notice how the welcome did tab over. It printed out the $65 and the 155. Number of desk lamps 2, coffee tables 2, and it did print out $ for 40.0. Thank you for using our website. So if you have any questions about those, let me know. And then what we did in class is we took Shelby's problem and we modified it. And this is the one that you have also in Evernote. This is the last one that I'm going to show. Okay, we have a problem here that we want to write the pseudocode for an application that allows a user to enter the price of an item and computes 8% sales tax on the item. And so this is the pseudocode out of our old book. We used to code it as a class, which was like a function. And that's what we're going to be talking about in chapter 3, is learning to use functions. And so what we did in class is we took this pseudocode and changed Shelby's pseudocode to the Python. So here's what we would do. Oops, it's not showing. I think I had to open it a different way. Well, let me do that. Nope. Okay, file. Okay, let's see. File, open. There it is. Open. Oh, it's still not. some reason. I must still have it open. That's probably what it is. Let me close these. Let me see. Open with title. Looks like maybe it did it behind there or something. For some reason, I can't get it to open here. File, window.
See, you got a happy weekend.
Okay, let's see. I can get it to do it again. Says it's there, but for some reason, edit. Wow. I'm not getting it to open right now. Let's see here. Wow, that is just not good. File, idle, preferences. Let me see. Maybe I don't have that opening. That's why. Open edit window. Apply. Let's see. Well, if I get it open. It's not it either. That is really crazy. Okay, so it's not going to let me open it, I guess. See if I can get any of the others. Somebody's trying to say something here. Russell Lee, I don't know. I don't know where those went. Just a second. What's that? Quit. Why is it not running? I'm gonna have to cut it off anyway. Okay, I will try and get this. If you can get it open, you'll be able to see how we answered that one. And then what you need to do is be looking out there for quiz number 2, or I'll email you all when I get quiz number 2 up. And also I'll try to get this open and redo it next time. But I will also give you in Evernote, and I'll let you know when that is, the 2 problems that you'll be working on over the weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out and see if I can figure out what happened there.